Greetings and salutations.
Hey guys, I had to look at my microphone just to make sure, man. Just to make sure. Too many mishaps lately with the microphone. And you can never, ever, ever, ever recreate of what you just said. You can try, but it's never as good as the first time. Do you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Good morning, Rosanna Dana. Good morning, everybody. She's just the first one I've seen down here at the bottom. I'm sure there was lots of greetings and salutations up there, up high in the chat of mine. How's it going, guys? Here, let me turn this down because I can hear it. Where the hell is the mute button? There we go. I'm recording a bunch of court hearings today, so I can get my other channel. You know, I just kind of just let it fall by the wayside, whatever that saying means. But we all know what it means. Just been ignoring it. So the Pope died. I'm super curious on what everyone thinks of the papacy in general. I wish I could have had a guest on to talk about the Pope. I mean, I'm sure a lot of my viewers would be like, "Hey, I'll come on and talk about the Pope." No, I mean like someone like who has like studied, you know, the Catholic religion and what the Pope means to the Catholic religion. And the most I know about the Pope, did get from my grandmother. She's just this little old Mexican lady, right, from Mexico. And, you know, when the Pope came on TV, and we're talking about Pope John Paul II. When the Pope came on TV, it was, "Oh, the papel. Oh, the papel, mijo. Mijo, vente aquí, por favor. Look at, mira, the papel." And I used to go, "Grandma," I don't really believe in that stuff. This is before I was saved, you know. And yeah, and I remember I brought my friend over, and AV Stevie, he knows the friend I'm talking about, this dude named Mike Cabrera. And Mike would always, you know, we'd be out drinking or something, and he'd be like, "The papel." He would like mock my grandmother, and we used to always get a good laugh out of it. Everybody loved my granny. She was the shit. She was the shit. But anyways, I wish she was alive today for more than just this reason, because I would bring her on and I would ask her, what does she think? And, you know, this Pope was the first Latin American Pope. Was the first Latin American Pope. And that was a big thing. But sadly, she passed away. I guess it's been 4 years now. She was 95. And, you know, she had shingles real bad. She had, you know, a bout with cancer. She survived it all. She outlived 3 of her children. Yeah. And still had 5 children left. My tia Lola, she had 15 kids, something like that. Super crazy, super duper crazy. And yeah, that is nuts. And I think my tia Lola outlived like over half of her kids. And my cousins, like those cousins of mine, like all three girls became like prostitutes, like real deal crackhead prostitutes. Two of the sons were, gangbanging, Mexican gangbangers, Sureños, Sureño. And it's just bad, and a couple of them were just addicts who were just addicts. But whenever, even like when I was working at Microsoft, that time of my life, I'd go visit my tia Lola when I was down in the beach communities, because that's where they lived, was down there, well, Hawthorne. And whenever I go to my tia Lola's, like her kids would all be like hanging out in the garage, like getting high with the garage door open. Everyone's just getting high. And mind you, these kids are all like, I think the youngest one was like 34. So like these are all old kids. Like they're not kids, but they're her kids, and they're all just like living in the garage, doing drugs, selling drugs, and I knew nothing about that life at that time. So I would just like, of course they would be like, hey cousin, and I'd be like, I'm just here to see your mom, and I'd like sneak through, and I would be like, I'm so sorry, Tia, your kids suck, man. And it was always a lot of the times, not always, but I wish they were more like you, mijo. Yeah, little did they know I had one coming, because I'd say a year later from like that particular time I went, I was drug trafficking and on my way to federal prison. Anyways, oh, what a trip! Yeah, what a trip thinking about that stuff. That's not what I came here to talk about right now. And I just realized, looking down, that I have my big old beanie on right now. Who's he talking about? I'm talking about my tia Lola, my aunt. She's my aunt, my grandmother's sister. My grandmother's sister. Look up to quite a bit of drama from my mother-in-law. She is romantic. Oh yeah. I bet, Galen. And good morning to you. Yeah, I bet. Woo, shy. Yeah, I bet. And it's a sad time. He was a really progressive pope. He was really progressive. Let me see here. Let's see what we got. Might as well read a little something. Well, you know what? First, before I do that, I want to, and we'll talk about this a little bit more later, but I did a thing this weekend. I built my website. I went ahead and registered the domain name mayhemnews.com. And this is mayhem. This is mayhemnews.com. So this is the splash page. You can go, you can shop, and I'm going to have some digital stuff there too. And here's some products that I'll be selling: shirts, hoodies, hats. You guys obviously know about my contact, but this is just for people that just land here, and it's still under construction. So, but I said on Friday that's what I was going to do this weekend, and I actually got a lot of it done, which is pretty neat. And so what I'm going to do for the remainder of the winners, I'm just giving shirts pretty much to everyone who played that one day, is that I'm going to give you a code that you type in to the, when you go to checkout. So you'll just buy your stuff here. And then I really like this shirt. I just made this shirt this morning. But then when you check in, or when you go to check out, I'm going to give you like a promo code, and the promo code, it'll take 100% off. And you might have to pay for shipping. For some reason, I can't include that in the promo, but I'm trying to figure out a way to do that. But for now, if I email you that promo code, you'll just be able to buy one shirt or a hoodie, and with that promo code, it'll be like a free shirt or whatever. So does that makes more sense, right? To do it that way. I thought so. And it helps me time wise because all I got to do is just send you a promo code. Then the rest is up to you. You can go to the site and shop. But anyways, I'm super stoked I got that done this weekend. Yeah, it's pretty neat. So anyways, we're going to have a pretty big show, actually. We're going to talk about the Pope, but definitely to talk about Karen Reed. And what else was I going to say? I know I'm coming in light, but we're going to leave hot, and I will see you guys in 1 second. Welcome to the Morning Mayhem Show. I am Sam.
This will always be who I am.
All right. So how was everybody this weekend? Hopefully everyone had a wonderful Easter weekend. I did. I spent a lot of time with my family this weekend. I mean, it was a lot of time, 5 hours at the park. Hazley got to walk through a creek, and we walked her through the creek, and we played games and we had fun, and we laid around and watched a lot of caught up on our TV shows series that we like to watch. It was a pretty awesome weekend. The only bad part about this weekend was my back, my lumbar injections are starting to fade, are starting to wear off. So I'm not able to stand for very long, and I'm not able to sit for very long. So you're like, well, then what do? I guess you lay horizontal, right? But yeah, when I woke up this morning, it was official. My back hurts again. So nothing to it but to do it. I'm just going to hit up the doc, tell them get me in, next week or the week after. They got me in fast last time. So, from the time that I got the referral to do it, they got me in super fast. And I can't wait to do it again because it's an amazing feeling. It's almost like getting high. It's like getting well from being high, from being sick. So it's like getting high, but you're just getting well because you're not really getting high anymore. You're just getting to a normalcy. But it's almost like that. I don't feel high, but it's like, oh, lots of pain, and then it's gone. So I'm really looking forward to that this time. It's going to be super dope. Good morning to you, Grateful 1111. I see you. I see everybody. Got to take my mom to church for Easter Sunday Mass. That is so cool, Robin. You guys can all hear me loud and clear, or am I just coming in normal? Give me a 5x5 if I'm coming in just like loud and clear, almost too loud. I'd like to be almost too loud, but I'm not going to change anything if I'm loud and clear, but I might turn it up one light. I'll just turn it up to that. Oh yeah, I can hear that a lot better. Check, testing, 1 2 1 2. So anyways, I'm digging the site. I'm digging the clothes, and I haven't even uploaded my original artwork except for the one hoodie, but really looking forward to that. But anyways, Vatican City AP reports Pope Francis, the first Latin American pontiff whose progressive stances and reform efforts both charmed the world and ignited significant controversy, has died at the age of 88. While lauded for his humble style and concern for the poor, Francis' tenure was marked by clashes with conservatives over issues ranging from the handling of clergy sexual abuse to his outreach in the LGBTQ plus community and his critiques of capitalism. Elected in 2013 on a mandate for reform, the Argentine-born Jorge Mario Bergoglio quickly signaled a departure from his predecessors with his informal style and an emphasis on mercy and inclusion. However, his efforts to modernize the church and address contemporary social issues often met with fierce resistance. I wonder why that is. I mean, I get it. I get like the I always have to look at it, the LGBTQ plus stuff. I get that, why it's met with resistance from inside the papacy. Is it papacy or papacy? It's papacy, I think. From inside the papacy. So if or it might be papacy, but with a silent L. Might be spelt papacy, but papacy. Anyways, I get why that happens, because it's not necessarily it's not biblical and to the extent that it's just a sin. It's just looked at as a sin, you know, within the Catholic religion. But he, I think, was doing a thing that popes can do, which blows me away, is make it not a sin no more, which that just all goes to the dogma of Catholicism. And, you know, I don't even want to get into all that. That's not really why I wanted to talk about this. I just wanted to talk about it because it just happened, more out of respect for mi abuelita. And yeah, but I'm going to talk about just a little bit more. One of the most significant sources of controversy surrounded Pope Francis's handling of the clergy sexual abuse crisis. While he eventually took steps such as defrocking former U.S. Cardinal Theodore McCarrick and abolishing the use of pontifical secret in abuse cases, his initial response to allegations in Chile, where he discredited victims, sparked widespread anger and criticism. Although he later apologized to the victims and pressed Chilean bishops to resign, the missteps left a lasting mark on his legacy and fueled doubts among the advocacy groups about his commitment to justice for abuse survivors. Francis' openness to the LGBTQ community and divorced Catholics also drew considerable ire from traditionalist factions within the church. His famous 2013 remark, "Who am I to judge?" What? That is so crazy, right? I find that funny because he is the Pope is there to judge. Yeah. Excuse my language, but fuck, that's funny. And I don't say the F word often. Regarding a purportedly gay priest signaled a more welcoming tone. This was followed by moves such as allowing priests to bless same-sex couples and the Vatican stating that transgender people could be baptized and serve as godparents. However, his refusal to change church teaching defining homosexual acts as intrinsically disordered and his nuanced approach to allowing divorced and remarried Catholics to receive communion led to accusations of both going too far and not going far enough. And I get that. And I just wonder what information he was going on to allow one and not the other. Yeah, it's bizarre. That is super bizarre. And I'm not going to talk about it too much because I don't really have a feeling on any of that one way or another. I'm just he just died, so I'm just talking about it. Conservative opposition intensified over Francis's strong critiques of global capitalism and his calls for action on climate change. Wah, wah, wah. Some U.S. encyclical Laudato Si, which denounced a structurally perverse economic system that harms the poor and the environment, further alienated those who favored more traditional economic and social doctrines. Yeah, I guess that's all I got to say about that. Um, you know, Grandma, rest in peace, Grandma. Yeah, now you're up there chilling with the Pope. What do you think of them apples, Granny? Huh? My granny was the shit. I showed you guys pictures of me and my granny. It was when I was like 275, and like when I was powerlifting, I was big, and I had my arm around her like that, and she just was like this tiny little old lady, hey, tiny little Mexican lady. She looks Native American because she has like a flat nose, and she always said that was her Cherokee in her. And I never knew if she was joking about that because she always said it with like a twinkle in her eye. And I'll tell another quick story about my grandma. So when I was a kid, and we would go live with her. When my mom used to was drinking, we would stay with my grandma for the summers sometimes. But sometimes it'd be a little bit longer. Like my mom wasn't ready to take us back when school started. So we would stay with my grandma for the first year of school or whatever. Anyways, she had this big, huge, like 1971 Impala. And so like Impalas, we're kind of like medium size, like in the 64, 65 Chevy Impala was like medium size, small. But in like 70 and 71, 72, 73, they became boats. I mean, like boats. And my grandma had this dark blue one. And she used to drive that thing so crazy. And when she would flip people off, she would just go, hey, you're number one. And instead of giving people the finger. But I always remembered her taking us to school in that. And this saying she had a twinkle in her eye just reminded me of her driving. Because we'd be in the back and she would just be mobbing through LA, just like mobbing this big car. And she drove super crazy. And she was always late. And she would no matter how late we were to school, she would still haul ass to Jack in the Box, and she would get us these sandwiches they're called breakfast jacks. And it's just like a really soft bun with like an egg and a piece of like Canadian bacon and cheese. And they're like really soft, and it's a soft bun. And they're breakfast jacks, and she would always get us each two of those in the morning, no matter how late we were. And she would just mob through that. But I always remember she would be like driving, not looking she would be like turning real fast and like driving crazy in and out of cars. And she would always like look back at us because we would be like, yeah, Granny, go. Yeah, Granny, go. And she always looked back at us, not even looking at the road, and just like smile and have like a twinkle in her eye. And she was the best, man. She was a crazy ass driver. And I really miss her. Yeah. And yeah, she would just like not even be looking at the road, just mobbing that big old thing. I think she just didn't worry about crashing it because it was just so big, nothing would penetrate that thing. I guarantee you. But yeah, she was the shit. And but that she had like this twinkle, man, and she just was like up to no good. And when I became an addict, my granny, she felt really bad. And she's got a lot of sons that were addicts, sons that were killed, like a drunk driver. She lost a lot of kids. And, but for some reason, when I became an addict, it really hit her hard. And she was addicted to painkillers on her last years of life because she had shingles really bad, and her shingles looked like third-degree burns. They just like her skin was just like burnt all in her neck and her shoulder and across her chest. And but when I became an addict, she cried so hard when I got out, and she was happy. They were happy tears for a second, but then they became really sad tears. And she was just like, no wonder you and everyone, like my family is doomed to addiction because she became an addict at the end of her life. And she just thought she was at fault for all of us for becoming addicts. And she just said like that, my becoming an addict late in life was the one that like really hurt her the most, and that she felt guilty for. And I was like, that just makes no sense, Granny. Like for you to feel guilty about me becoming an addict, and like that, because now she was an addict. She just like that. She put that gene in all of us, and I rest her assured that that wasn't the case. And anyways, so a lot going on in the Karen Reed trial. A lot of motions were filed and decisions were made. They are actually are they not letting the they are denying the Sally Port video. They really needed to get that one in this time. But it was denied. The defense denied a forensically sound copy of the January 29th Sally Port video. And what that video shows is I think Proctor, her vehicle is in the Sally Port, and Proctor is messing around back by the taillight. And then shortly thereafter, pieces of the taillight are found at the Butler residence. Is it the Butler residence? I know it was at a residence. I just can't remember if it's the name is Butler. So yeah, that was denied, which is crazy. Why would that not come in? It rings to me as like a cover up. Thank God that's over. That can of pop, because I didn't want to keep drinking and interrupting my flow. So yeah, I just don't know, man. I just don't know. But you know what? Everybody knows about it. Everybody knows about it. But you know, I was tattooing on this lady the other day, and she was a holistic doctor, like a real doctor. And I was tattooing her, and I was talking about YouTube. You know, I was kind of like bragging a little bit about being on YouTube, and and she's like, "Oh, really? What do you talk about?" And I said, "Oh, you know, sometimes Diddy, sometimes, you know, a lot of times myself, and, you know, just like life stuff, and, you know, recovery, of course." And she had never heard of she had kind of heard that something was going on with Diddy, but like never heard of the Karen Reed thing. Didn't know Blake Lively was involved in any kind of drama right now, but she knew who Blake Lively was. So that really had me thinking, like, maybe there are jurors out there that can judge these big cases fairly. You know, we're all immersed in this, you know, this whole, good or bad, for whatever it is, we're all immersed in this, like this world of YouTube, and like creators and communities and discussions about all these cool things, be it a hobby or a lifestyle, right? And but there are people out there that are just doing life, you know, in a different way. I mean, we're doing life. I don't think this is like avoiding life. I think this is a life, and one that I am attaching myself to. Yeah. So it made me really think that night. I was thinking about it. I was like, okay, you know what? I think these people are going to get a fair trial. If I always pronounce this wrong, the voir dire. If the voir dire is works how it's supposed to, I think there's going to be not a problem of finding people that haven't heard of it. We just think, because it consumes us, and not in like in a bad way or like really consumes us. Like that's all we think about, but it consumes our world, that we're here to get entertained by. So am I Samsplaining? I don't think I'm Samsplaining. I think I'm just talking about the situation. Not that anyone said I was Samsplaining, not that I know of. You have to smoke cigars and drink lots of power drinks. That's right, John. Galen says, I think there are lots of people out there that haven't heard about these cases because they have so many other things going on in their life and they don't have their head buried in true crime. That's right. So yeah, that's, I mean, I don't know. It just gave me kind of like hope that there would be like, fair trial. But I get it. Like the, like a situation like the Carmelo Anthony situation, that's happened in the community. So I would have to assume everybody in the community, that's all they're talking about, so like something like that, I feel like that doctor, if that had happened in her community, that she would have heard of that because it was like local, So when I think about it like that, these jurors are coming from these community. It's a juror of their peers, their direct, in their town. So I don't know. Now I just talked myself out of what no one can get a fair trial anymore. Right. Wishy-washy ass dude, right? Yes, I will make a t-shirt that says no caps. Oh yeah, I should put Samsplaining on a shirt. Yeah, that'd be funny. That the one shirt, here, let me show it real quick. The one shirt, I put a really cool, this is an old picture of me. Well, it's like 3 pictures. Well, actually it's 5 pictures. And then this is just 3 of the pictures. It's like someone had taken these like headshots of me. This is in LA. You could tell it was a long time ago. My hair was short. And so I just did like a bunch of different faces, and she made like this like long panoramic thing with like 5 or 6 photos, and I framed it and hung it up. But anyways, I had that in one of my portfolios, so I just like made this shirt of it. But yeah, that's pretty cool. I'm gonna order one of those, but I feel like I can't wear a shirt with my own face on it. It's kind of weird. Okay, yeah. So not only the surveillance video, what else we got? The judge is allowing these dog bite experts. Experts cannot say Chloe the dog caused or did not cause the injuries. Defense concerned jury will play detective using the bite measurements. So the dog caused or did not cause. So yeah, so like the defense is really worried that the jury will play detective using like the bite measurements. I think they should be instructed like, look, if these experts can't say could have or did not, then neither can you, neither can you. So I feel like it should be a wash, and they shouldn't be allowed, period. But I guess they'd have to be allowed because the defense is saying no, that's a dog bite. I mean, it doesn't look like, I just don't see how you could get those kind of marks from being hit with a bumper. And I guess I should pull something up that shows them because I'm talking about them. Geez, how the F would I do that? guess I'm just going to Google it real quick. So I don't know if you guys have seen these marks on the on O'Keefe on his arm. They're a trip. You know what? Actually, I think I do have them somewhere in one of my files. Let me see. Read trial. Dog bites. Come with it now. There we go. I love the internet. Dude, and it's on the inside of his arm. Or no, that's the outside of his arm. I'll show you guys what I mean or what I'm looking at. Uno momento, por favor. Damn it, it's not going to let me do it. Oh, yeah, it did. Cool. It wasn't producing a thumbnail, but it was... So you guys see those marks? Well, it's probably small to you guys if you're, especially if you're on a phone. But those marks, I mean, how did those marks up that high on his body? And look, if you were to go like that, that's exactly where those bite marks would be. So I just don't know how a tail light is going to cause that. And then, of course, there's the head trauma, and they're saying, yeah, he fell back and hit his head, and then the bullet turned left and, killed 2 other people. Yeah, I think there's a lot to this case that we're never going to know about, So anyway, the dog experts got in. Regarding the visual aids for the opening, both sides want to use them. Judge Cannon requires prior approval. Defense plans to use only one photo, likely O'Keefe's injuries. Smart. Keep it simple. Give them probable, reasonable doubt, and there she goes. She wins again. Prosecution wants to limit any implication of third party or dog involvement at 34 Fairview. Of course they do, because that's how they got a mistrial or a hung jury, which equals a mistrial. Of course they do, but you can't, because it's what happened. It's what's happening. The third party stuff, I get. You shouldn't be allowed to say there's this other killer out there. But it's definitely you do have to have a defense, and if that's the case, you want to present it in some way, or at least infer it, so the jury will come up with that conclusion on their own without you specifically saying it. I think that's exactly what's going to happen, and I think she's going to get a not guilty this time. And you know what? I don't even think she's worried about it a little bit. And just by her that, how she's not worried about it, just strengthens and I guess solidifies my belief that she is innocent. 1,000,000%. Okay, number 4, Proctor's sustained misconduct findings will be admitted. That's crucial to her defense, right? Proctor was the investigating state trooper. Was he with the state troopers? Was he a detective for them? He's with the state, and his misconduct will be admitted because the internal affairs found bias on professionalism and alcohol use on duty. Defense can bring up his bias and misconduct in cross-examination. Unclear on how deep they're going to be able to go with it. Yeah, I'm sure the judge will put a cap on it somehow in some way. Yeah, there's a lot, man. There's a lot. And 5, the ARCA experts now officially retained by defense. Originally appeared independent, now retained by defense as of March. Gives defense more flexibility to instruct experts and conduct testing. The Commonwealth fears ARCA's strengthened response to their own expert testimony. So before, outside of the defense and the prosecution, these experts, gathered all the evidence and said that there was no way that her SUV could have unalived Mr. O'Keefe, something like that. So originally, yeah, okay. And 6. The Commonwealth request to restrict opening arguments. Prosecution tried to, that's like the worst, man. That's the worst. The prosecution tried to limit defense from referencing 34 Fairview at all, dogs or third-party theories in opening. Defense argues it's essential to show bad investigation, not about blaming third parties directly. Judge has not restricted that kind of general criticism before. So yeah, that's going to be key. This issue is the one main issue that I have, and I think this just comes with the day and age that we live in. Especially all of us here, we're all true crime buffs. I mean, basically, this is like a true crime channel. I know when I talk about prison, it's like, yeah, basically this is a prison channel, but true crime is my thing. That's my jam, right? So I just happen to be an ex-con. But this is the thing that I feel like should not be allowed, is that the Commonwealth, the prosecution wants to use readers for the text messages. So imagine, you get hired to read these text messages, and mostly they're like, they usually hire, experts at this, and experts at this read for novels, or they do voiceovers for movies or commercials. So do you really want a guy or a girl rather reading these text messages with all that extra drama? And so the defense is like going, hell no way, they don't need readers. And so let me just read what I gathered this morning. Commonwealth wants to use independent reader to dramatize text messages. Defense opposes, say it will overemphasize evidence and waste time. The judge is still weighing whether to allow. The judge. I mean, it could be already out this morning. I looked earlier before I took Hazley to school. I looked, and she hadn't made a decision yet on it. So, but you guys get what I'm saying, right? Like, I really don't think that should be allowed, because it could like the defense is saying, it can overemphasize. And just like you or I, or like me and my wife, or anyone, my wife and I have been in more arguments over how we thought the tone of a text message was when maybe it wasn't. Or, I think a lot of times it's, like, no, that's not how I meant it, when in the heat of the moment, no, it's exactly what you meant. It's exactly the tone that I inferred. But, just as I will expect to be let off the hook, I will let you off the hook. But you just don't know. A lot of times, especially in certain types of discussions discussed with text messaging, right? Number 8, discovery disputes continue. Both sides still turning over expert updates and witnesses, and witness reluctance info. Judge ruled Commonwealth must turn over communications about reluctant witnesses at least 1 day before testimony. So that is, well, I guess that could be anything. The trial starts tomorrow, and we are covering it. So, and 9, Turtle Boy, Aiden Kearney will not be testifying. Facing 14 plus witness intimidation charges. He will invoke the 5th if called, ruled exempt from sequestration except during victim testimony. So do you guys think the judge is being more even-handed this time? I think so. I do. So I wrote some things to like some talking points to talk to you guys about. So one is Judge Hannon being more even-handed? I think so. And will Proctor's misconduct finally sway the jury to an acquittal? I absolutely believe so. What do you guys think? And will ARCA's updated analysis change the outcome? I do believe so. So that's 2 strikes against the prosecution. And our visual aids and dramatized text a form of trial theater. What do you guys think? I believe visual aids and dramatized texts are a form of trial theater, especially the dramatized texts. Yeah, I don't think they should be allowed. I really don't. If there's a question of it, but I wouldn't worry too much about it because all the other stuff is going to outweigh, someone being more dramatic on a Karen Reed text, So I am interested in what you guys think about a lot. Whoever's interested in this is going to be a really good case. Yes, I am the typo. God gaze upon my marvelous, you unwashed, mighty, and wet weep. Ben, you silly guy. Hey, Samantha, how's it going? I love it when she comes in. Just love it. I was talking about mi abuelita this morning. Yeah, because of the papel. Oh, mijo, the papel. I could just see her now if she was alive. She'd be like, mijo, please get over here. And I would come and she would just be bawling with her rosary. The papel, mijo. I just miss her. That's why I keep doing it over and over. What time does it start tomorrow? Early. So I probably will come on a little. Well, I really can't come on early because I have Hazley to take to school on Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. I will be starting really early, like 7, 8 o'clock. That's Western time. John, stop it. You're not an idiot. Why is John saying he's an idiot? I hope you're well, reader. I know you dress up as Bette Midler and are cheating on me. What are we talking about? I am a huge Bette Midler fan, by the way. Yes, she is feeling better. I told you guys she did have strep. Yeah, so she's been on antibiotics. She really likes the antibiotics. It's like some new bubblegum flavor. These same antibiotics that we got her last time, it was like a grape flavor, and she effing hated it. But this bubblegum flavor, amoxicillin, she says, is delish. I will check my email after the show. You're going to say something about the 22nd, right? Is that the date of the tattoo show? But I will check. I told someone yesterday to I like this comment. I will get to it 1 second. What was I just saying? I can't remember what I was just saying. Anyways, Galen says the special prosecutor Brennan is a mob attorney for Whitey Bulger and many other mobsters. He's not the most ethical attorney, but it's Massachusetts. That's right. That's right. Please hit the like and subscribe. Yes, please, everyone, hit the like and subscribe. That's all I ask, man. Just hit the like, man, and subscribe. Subscribe's cool too. Carmen Camila says, Sam, the things he texted his college buddies, absolutely disgusting, not just unprofessional. That's right. That's right. He was texting not good thing. He said something about she was a dime piece, but had a flat ass or something like that. Said she was hot, but at the same time said she had a flat ass. So, again, the third part, the new special prosecutor is a mob attorney, and he was waiting. But this is what I get for going backwards. No holes for nipple rings. John, you're gonna have to take out the nipple rings. You know that, right? They Mischief. Hey, Mischief. Thanks for being here. Oh, great news. Proctor was a complete a-hole from the start. So my website is mayhemnews.com. And there's going to be more stuff on there, not just merch. I just have the merch up right now, but I'm going to do some recovery related material. Some will be free and some will be monetized. Ooh. So our lovely Galen is a veterinarian, if you guys didn't know. She trains the dogs to do really cool things like cadaver stuff, jailhouse drug searches, cell phone searches. And she says, speaking as a veterinarian, those look like dog bites. The dog by expert Garrett did an interview last year on attorney Melanie Little YouTube channel on Melanie. Yeah, we'll have to check that out. I would love to. I will find that and we will check it out maybe before the end of the show. There we go. Cat. Sam, I was thinking this morning about you removing super chats. Of course, it's your choice, but I thought of the phrase penny wise, pound foolish. Just don't let critics have weight. Yeah, I really appreciate that, Kat. I wasn't criticized, or no one was really saying anything about me using super chats or super stickers. I've just found I was inhibiting what I was talking. I was always thinking about not saying something or not saying something that would feed my community's good nature and compassion to send me money. Does that make sense? I was constantly worried that I was going to say something that was going to make someone go, oh man, no, here's $100 or here's $50 and because of something that I say. I just need to pray on it more, and like something that I say that's personal. Like if you think that me talking about the Karen Reed trial is worth a donation, well, I have a donation link for that. Or is worth support, I have a donation link for that. And YouTube won't get their 30% because of it. So I do still have something. I just don't want there to be that spur of the moment, me tugging on a heartstring and making someone, and then someone gives me money for that. I'm just not comfortable with it yet. And I think in time, and as I get better at this, that I will feel more comfortable with it. But just right now, where we all are as a community after what has happened in other communities, and I just think for me right now that's where I want to be. And I know you're not criticizing me at all. I know you're really like probably encouraging me, like, no, do it. Like, people do want to like help, and I appreciate that. But I think, and I don't want to call it trauma from the other communities, but maybe it is a lightweight trauma. I feel traumatized by it a little bit. And it's not trauma like that kind of trauma, but it's community trauma, right? To all of us for things that other past creators affiliated with this community has done. So I just think for now, I just want to leave them off. I mean, trust me, I want to get $1,000 in donations a day, or that, I like, that would be badass. That would be super badass. But I know that's not like realistic, or so I just I prayed on it, and that was the answer I got. I really felt in my heart. That's what I got after meditating, after prayer. And so, and it's going to help me. It's going to help me feel just more comfortable that I can just talk about anything. With emotion and authenticity. Hey, Mischief. You should damn, sorry, I was feeding my sick kitty. Yes, Smiler's keeper. That's exactly it. You don't want to be or even seem like a grifter. I can respect that. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, now, and people can now buy stuff off my website. And that's a form of support, and you get something for it more than just a wonderful, beautiful memory of hearing my voice. Grateful says, Sam, I think you should just do your thing, pray and ponder. I have been watching you now for about 3 weeks. I do not see you fishing or grifting. I really don't. I've seen no BS. Thank you. I appreciate that. Has it been 3 weeks already? Sweet. That's good. I didn't realize you had donation links. Yeah, I do. I do have donation links. And it's pretty clear on what those donations are for. Like when you go to the donation link, it's all part of. I've had been using the company that's doing that processes the donation links. I've been using them for a really long time for my tattoo shops, and I just love the company. Gemini girl, hey girl. Yeah, it really was, Kat, messing up my flow. Even more so than my flow is just naturally like bizarre. James Constant, did anyone watch Ghost Hunters TV show? The one guy's wife tried to have him murked. Yes. Yeah. Yeah, he sure did. She sure did. But wasn't he like, oh no, I'm thinking of the I'm thinking of the comedian guy that was seeing all the young girls. That's on that TV show, where they send people in to do funny things. And I can never remember the name of that show. Thanks, Nicole, for putting up the website. Appreciate it. What else is going on? And he said she had a leaking balloon knot. Huh? And he said she had a leaking balloon knot. Foul. Yes, anti-monkey pants. I am so glad that Hazley's feeling better too. We really caught it in time. Like she just was like, Dad, my throat feels weird. And so I felt her glands, and I felt one side was really big. I was like, I have to be careful how I react with her because I scare her, because I freak out on stuff. And so my wife was so proud of me. I was just like, okay. I was like, honey, feel these. Or it might have been the other way around. She had me feel them first. Hey, Shelled Up. He says, wow, he sounds like a great guy. Yeah. La 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 la. Thanks, Thompson, for hitting that like button. She was 2 holes for nipple rings. We're back to the nipple ring comment. So I think we're good. I'm gonna go back down to the bottom. Sorry, Proctor said the balloon knot. Yeah, thank you. Comment. Sorry, Proctor said the balloon knot thing to his friends. Oh yeah, that's right. That's right. Thank you. Hey, Lacey Silver, the emotional support Canadian. Adam is a good guy, and I cannot believe she tried to off him. Yeah, man, it's so crazy. Yep, Robin, he sure did. Robin Bliss says, yeah, Proctor is a vile human and tainted the investigation with his biases. Yep, just like who from the O.J. Simpson trial. Mark. How can I forget this dude's name? Mark. The Mark guy. Just a real racist piece of shit. Yeah, that's right. Surviving Together. We're going to collab on some legal stuff. She is the ninja lawyer, or law ninja, the ninja lawyer. Furman, thank you, Nicole. Came in for the save. Gretzky steals. He shoots. She scores. In for the save. Ever since I said I was going to quit vaping, I am just vaping so much more. Lord Kiss Freak, on a serious note, can I get some threes from my friend Ken? I just found out this morning that he's in the hospital. He had a stroke a few days ago and had to have surgery. Yes, let's get lots of threes, and even we can even say a prayer for Lord Kiss Freak's friend. I hate it when my pen's missing. I'll write it in highlighter. And stroke. Thank you, guys. Yeah. Strokes are scary. I'm at that age where I could have a stroke any day or a heart attack any day. And so I don't even know necessarily. Well, I guess, yeah, staying healthy helps, but I know really healthy people that get them. I mean, that doesn't, I know that shouldn't give me an excuse to, live on sugar and and just be unhealthy and not work out. But I just feel like if you're going to get it, you're going to get it. You know, something's going to happen. But thanks, guys. Yeah, I will add your buddy Ken's name to, well, I already did, to our prayer circle that I have. Okay, we did the Karen Reed. I can't wait for tomorrow. Tomorrow's going to be dope. Watching the Karen Reed stuff. Opening statements are always fun. Opening statements and closing statements are really my favorite part of the trial. You know, and then, you know, anything that happens during the trial that's you know, like that gotcha moment, that Columbo moment. Who's the other Perry Mason moment, you know? Those are always super fun. Question, Sam, will you be adding a Venmo or PayPal as payment option on your website? I can only pay by credit card right now. Grabbing a sweatshirt before they run out. So cool. My hubs will love it. You should be able to pay with PayPal or Venmo. Oh, I don't know about Venmo, but PayPal should be an option. But you should be able to pay with a credit card on there also. It should all be available. I made sure that that all is available. I have a very clean record processing card payments with no disputes, like zero disputes. And I've been processing cards, credit cards and debit cards and all the things for a really long time, and I have zero disputes. And so whenever I apply for a new payment processing, I always get it right away, and I get all the bells and whistles that a lot of people have to work to get. You know, like you have to build up a trust relationship with the company to get, you know, all the things. Can they use the federal trial information now that it's over? Hey, Nana, up to. I don't know. The answer to that, Karma. Sorry. There was something else I wanted to talk about. Oh, James Collins and I are going to do a show soon about putting our happiness in other people's hands. We're going to do a pretty intense show about that subject. I have a lot of history of doing that. So I'm going to talk about that with James Collins here pretty soon. John Lazan and I are going to do a tattoo show, but I'm going to do that from the shop. So I'll be at the tattoo shop when we do it. So that'll be cool. And then doing a show on My Other's Keeper about tattoos and as a man of God, right? Is that what we're doing it on? Like just what my argument is when people tell me that tattooing is a sin, or, you know, say that it doesn't please God. You know, I'm sure God doesn't celebrate it, but I don't think it displeases him. And what else? Oh yeah, so I want to talk about something real quick. And it affects all of us. I just need to find I just have to go to my emails. Kim, I just reading the subject line. Samsters, I need a photo of your face to put on this hamster. Okay. I'll send you one. Where's Susie's? So someone had apologized to me for something that they didn't need to apologize to me about. And I responded and I said, hey, you never need to be sorry with me. When you're truly my friend, grace flows naturally. And even if there has been a transgression, which there wasn't in this situation, real friendship walks in forgiveness, just like God does with us. And I just really want to emphasize that, like here with all of you too, is that I never expect an apology from a friend. And I consider all you guys my new parasocial family and friends. And if there's ever anything that you felt is like a transgression, like towards me or the community or the channel, you can acknowledge why you think it's a transgression, but just know that that I walk in forgiveness because God carries me that way. And when I abide in Christ and in my God, and I think it's the same for people who just believe in like a God of the universe and not so much like the religious part of it all. That's how the universe carries all of us, is that but I get it. Sometimes some people do need to hear an apology. I'm just talking about with me, because I've been forgiven for so much through no effort of my own, with by having faith that that love exists and that my God is love. I just don't ever expect like an apology or anything like that. Yes, Lacey, I know that. I know that I have a lot of Jewish friends in California. And yeah, and that's the reason why they don't get tattoos. Guys who really want tattoos, but they're if they couldn't be buried in the Jewish cemetery, their mothers would be very upset. Like it would just destroy their moms. And yeah, we used to talk about that all the time. There's this Jewish deli in LA called Cantor's. It's off Fairfax. It's kind of a dive, but like on any given night, you'll see, Jerry Seinfeld there, or, like everybody goes to Cantor's. I used to go there almost every day. Cause they have like this, well, their pastrami is really good, but they had this liverwurst sandwich, like brown swagger. And they had this liverwurst sandwich where the liverwurst was like an inch and a half thick. It's making me gleek right now. And with mustard and like a hard roll. Oh, it's so good. It's so good. I love Disco Duck. Forgive, but never forget where we come from. None of us are perfect. That's right. That's right. All right, John. John tattooed Christ is King, which I've seen on his arm, and a Catholic priest blessed it. Many people do not subscribe to organized religion, and it doesn't mean they are blasphemous. That's for sure. That's right, Kim. Kim says many people do not subscribe to organized religion, and doesn't mean that they are blasphemous. That's for sure. That's absolutely right. Ben, there's more going on than disco, Oh my God, it's not. Okay, I was like, Sam, I'm still sorry you grew up in the disco era. Yeah, I know I still owe you guys a dancing video. I can't remember why. I just think I just promised one. And I wish yeah, that's right, Robin. The verse about tattoos is in the Old Testament, Jesus is New Testament, and he's our new covenant, and it's not a big deal. But I do have more that talk about it. There's in Romans 14 chapter 14, there's some things that talk about causing discourse and things. But anyway, we're gonna have a whole show on it with my other's keeper. So I love disco, by the way. So that's what I was gonna say to Ben. I really, really, really loved disco back then, and I still do. I mean, why am I gonna deny it? I really, really love that disco beat. That just that, and then just the heavy bass with bass lines, and I just love it. And I had a disco birthday party. What, I don't know, I can't remember what age. I guess I was in the 3rd grade. I had a disco birthday party, and I had these pants that were really tight, and they were really satiny looking, the disco era pants. And when I graduated from the it was a graduation we had like either in the 3rd or 4th grade. It might have been the 4th grade because in our school district, middle school started in the 5th grade, when most of it starts in the 6th grade. Anyway, my butt in these pants was really round, right? Like not just big, but like a round. And my dad, who does not use the N-word ever, like someone was sitting in front of him while I was wearing these pants walking down the thing. Anyways, I got the pants at my disco birthday party, and I wore them at the disco birthday party, but I also wore them to my graduation thing. So sorry, I kind of like was going story to story, but the some guy that sat in front of him was laughing at me and said, "Oh, look at that kid with the big N-word butt." And my dad lost his shit. Like I'm literally like walking to my seat after getting my little certificate, and I hear my dad screaming at this guy. And of course I got super embarrassed, I'm just like, oh my God, my dad's not an embarrassing guy. Like my dad's never embarrassed me before that or after. But at that moment I felt embarrassing. I felt embarrassed because like he was yelling, it was my dad. And then when I found out what it was, I didn't know what the N-word was. I just knew it wasn't said in my household. But I didn't know how like the history behind it and like what it meant and why it was bad. I didn't know any of that. So it just never made sense to me why my dad got that upset over that. But yeah, those disco pants, if those disco pants could talk, even for an 8-year-old. I used to go to this chick's house who I had a crush on, and her and her sisters, she had all sisters. They would put on like disco 45s, and they would just like all wait for me to start dancing. Like in like all the yearbooks from them when they would take pictures for the yearbook at the class dances, there was always pictures of me dancing with a circle of people around me, because I would do like this cool like pop and lock stuff, and I would do like a chest roll. Like, yeah, remember, like this is like in the like 70s, right? And yeah, man. But anyway, so I used to go to this girl's house that I had a crush on, and they would play like these like records, disco records, and I would be like they'd be like, "Come on, dance." I'd be no, I'm not going to just like dance for you guys. They're like, "No, we want to watch you dance." and they put the record on, and I would act like I couldn't help myself. It was like this like cool joke. I was like, oh, okay, but I don't want to, but I have to. The music is just calling to me. I remember it like it was yesterday, and then I would dance, and they would just be like, "Oh, it's so amazing!" True effing story, man. I remember one of the girls' names. Her name was Sonia, and her sister's name was Heather. I wish I could remember her last name. I would look her up right now and send her a message. Hey, you remember me? Yeah, I was the one that I couldn't just fight it. I couldn't fight it. I just had to dance. But yeah. I really wish I could remember her last name. I had a crush on her. I could remember her friend's last name, Michelle Thompson. Yeah, it's just weird. So yeah, I was into disco, man. But then rock and roll took over, man. Disco was dead. And me being the follower that I am, I do just, yeah, disco sucks. But I love disco music. I turned my wife onto a ton of disco music that she never heard. I don't know how anyone in the world could not like the Bee Gees. I don't understand people that don't like the Bee Gees. I get it. Their voices are high and all that, but it's their melodies are they just bring me in to where I gotta dance. Gotta dance. My other keeper says you gotta watch the Vegetables, Dr. Jiggle, and Mr. Glide. Okay, I will. I'll have to write it down though. Dr. Jiggle. Okay. If you say so, I'll watch it. Dr. Jiggle, Mr. Glide. Sixth grade and ninth grade mixing together is a recipe for disaster. Yeah, my high school started at ninth grade, but the middle school started at fifth grade to the eighth grade. But one of my I love John Travolta in the 70s, man. I'm not a big fan of him now, but I sure was then. I loved everything he did. Vinnie Barbarino, what? Where? When he would do that, he like, what? Yeah, and then of course Saturday Night Live or Saturday Night Fever. Saturday Night Live. Yeah, everyone better love the Bee Gees. Yeah, man. Bee Gees were the shit. Is that a true story, John? I'm not on Facebook. They kicked me out. I'm not on Instagram. They kicked me out. I'm not on X. They kicked me out. Because but I love paying for them Ben Bacon bits. That's just we got to have something to talk about and laugh about, right? Oh, I just realized I still have these dumb dog bites up. Yeah, man, I bring it, man. I just I love being teased and made fun of, like, in jest, man. It's better than me just like being self-deprecating the whole time. Oh yeah, back to the arm picture down. The arm picture down now. The arm picture. This thing? The arm picture down, arm picture down, arm picture down. I'm not thinking of what it is. I will later though, probably. Be the saver of souls. Yes, that's what I'm talking about. Hey Thomas, how you doing, man? Good to see you here. Oh yeah, back to John Lazan. On Facebook, they kicked me out. If that's all true, that's very telling. That's very telling, John. Maybe now I know why you got so upset when you got timed out, because you're just like, now I have nothing. I have no no social media. It would make a lot more sense to me, at least. It was the Cujo, the ninja squirrel attack arm picture. The Cujo ninja squirrel. Oh, okay, duh. God, I'm an idiot. Yeah, thanks. Yes, I will. I had planned on that, Kim, because I want to get the ball rolling on all of that. Sweet. My other's keeper, so I'm going to be hooked on that happiness for a while. If I'm feeling down, I might just have to go watch it. I literally giggled. Lori Vallow has rested her case and won't testify in her own trial. Yeah, I mean, she's. One of the other reasons why I didn't cover the Lori Vallow thing, besides that, I felt like we did try one day and we were all just feeling kind of creepy, and I have no anything in my past that would trigger me. But we all just were feeling creepy, and it was just like, yeah, we're not even gonna watch this or follow her. We don't want to hear her voice. I don't want to see her face. I mean, super interesting. The case is interesting to an extent, but that's why we decided not to cover it. But we definitely will. But Galen, we all know she's going to be in prison. Going to go. It's not like it's going to affect the rest of her life at all. We all know she did it, put her brother up to it, and then killed her brother. Thanks, Karma. Okay, cool. I'm glad, man. I'm glad. I'm glad you're kidding. See you later, Jackie. Thanks for coming in today. It's always awesome when you're here. Yeah. Ben Vegas. Sam, stop it. You're not an idiot. That's the disco talking. Oh, yeah. Hell yeah. My only regret, man, and I've said this before, not on a live, not on YouTube or anything, but to my friends, I just wish I was born 10 years earlier. So I wish I was born in 1960 or 1961, because then I could have really, really enjoyed disco with the adults, at Studio 51 or 54, whatever it was. You know what I mean? I could have really enjoyed disco. But, I enjoyed it as much as I could as a kid. That's for sure. Did I yawn? Hey, Rudy. I love it when Rudy's here. Rudy. about she put her brother up to it and kill her brother. What were you talking about? Yeah, right. She was just on trial just for her husband's unalive right now. Well, I don't know if she took her brother out, but her brother died shortly thereafter. I can't remember the details of his death right now. But yeah, LV. I was talking about LV. Yeah, it's awesome. I'm saying I'm trying to get in a notorious studio in New York. Wink, wink. Man, yeah, man. They had a lot of fun. Yeah, John, you're only going to come on once or twice a year. So you're not going to get double my viewers. You're not going to get me to do it by daring me. Oh, okay. I get it. Grateful. Yeah, no problem. I know, man. Can you believe that? Lori Vallow still maintains her kids unalive each other. Yeah, man. Have you guys seen the truck that LKH drives? Or not LKF? Yeah, it is monstrous. Super monstrous. Okay, guys. Well, I guess that brings us to the end of another great show. I really love you guys. I really do. And more than just a parasocial way. What did I say we have planned for tomorrow? Oh, yeah. Karen Reed. I will see you guys tomorrow. I might do a show this afternoon. I'm going to clean this place and redo it. So my wife and I are going to do some content of just us talking about relationships and like what happened to us and why we went to marriage counseling and where we're at today in our relationship. And that, and like how we met and found each other when neither one of us was looking, and talk about our age difference and how like at first we were like, no way, Jose. But we just fell in love. Anyways, I will see you guys tomorrow, or if not this afternoon. I am going to put out a couple of, just news story videos today also, but just uploaded. But I love you guys. Thank you so much for coming out. It was so good to be here with you guys this wonderful Monday morning. I feel good for a Monday. I don't know about you guys, but I feel really good for a Monday. I think maybe because it's the 21st. It's YouTube payday. So I get to go buy at least one new piece of electronic something. My cat destroyed I have a big concave screen that I do all my video editing on. And my cat came through the window and knocked it down and destroyed it. It's a brand new. It's like a month old. Or no, I got it in December, so it's like 3 or 4 months old. Yeah, and broke it. So I can still use it, but it's all shattered on one side. It really sucks. But anyways, you guys have an awesome day. I will see you soon. If not, I'll see you tomorrow morning, which is soon enough. Bye, guys.
Stay loud. Don't be woke. Stay wild. Stay